So, in the back garden again, and there's an object up there, sat in the sky. Okay.
Above that cloud, isn't it? It's just white. Is it because of the cloud going past it, do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely something
No
there.
cloud there though, is there?
Well, this is where your P900s are going on now.
What the hell was that?
Were associated directly to the military bases that they were seeing location to.
But what about when they come out of the sea?
Oh, well, you're talking about the other type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that could be the technology. That could be the stuff that is. It's definitely different divisions of stuff. Some phenomena comes out of the sea as well, of course. I actually got video footage from New Jersey of a CCTV camera, and you can probably see about 60 of them coming into the sea from the skies, coming down and into the sea after a night of being up there. You know, but that looks to be more like the phenomena because it appears, and I mean, I've seen stuff here. You know, it's there in the sky and then it's gone. You think, where'd it go? And then, oh, it's here. You know, it's the kind of phasing out and moving, phasing in. That's a lot of that stuff does. But some of the stuff that was coming out there, you know, we do know that they probably got some good technology that can do this and mimic stuff. I think they'd even try and build stuff to try and mimic some of the phenomena, because then it's easy to sort of just dilute it, isn't it, really, and say it's all ours. It's just all ours in the sky. Don't worry about it. You know.
But from your own perspective of things, you think it's a mixture of the phenomena and us.
I think
with the
those
drones.
incidents were both, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I'm saying that
Does make common sense, to be honest.
We saw phenomena in the skies, but somebody knew it was going to happen, and for a duration of time.
Which is the key thing, really. That's what I'm thinking.
So they may have been told. Someone somewhere said, "Do you know what? We're going to be in your skies for a month over your facilities. What are you going to do about it then?" And then you think, right, guys, we know this is going to happen. What can we do? Well, we're going to have to throw our toys up there as well, because when we can turn around and say, oh, well, you know what, they put green and red lights on them, landing lights and all sorts of things, like aircraft, recognition lighting. The FAA approved it. Everyone's going to look up in the sky and go, oh, it's just all American stuff, secret stuff. It just diluted, just took away the whole fact that the phenomena's here as well, but they're just going to put it all into that camp. So it dilutes the situation. It did, it worked. It was fantastic. PSYOP operation, fantastic. Really clever.
So just going to basically, just before I go to the questions, there's just two questions I wanted to ask you. Now, this was first brought up by Carl the Crusher and Sasha Christie. If you're watching this, Sasha, hello.
Yes.
She brought this up, and it's more about, well, it kind of makes you smile and it kind of makes you miserable when you hear the word, and that was plutonium. which is from, as we know, it makes people smart. If you petroleum nuclear, oh yeah, it was a time machine in a film.
Yeah.
And
Does seem to be, yeah.
then it goes to, obviously, if anybody presses the button,
Yeah.
game over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where do you stand on that side, that the drones were up there looking for nuclear stolen, or have you heard anything like that?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I'm sure there are drones where they've got. I mean, I've got details of drones that can. No, I can't tell you that, so I can't go into that bit. But
There you go.
but what I can say is that there is stuff that on some of these drones which break all standards in regarding monitoring processes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and they do have things which are topographical and geological and things that they can put on it, even at satellite level now. Forget drones, you know. The satellites up there can do this very, very well, you know. But drones can operate in the night, in the day. They can, the video footage that they have and store can be seen. They can track your mobile phone, literally put a ring around you. So no matter where you're going, they know where you are, and you know, putting pings from from one satellite to another. So in case you're a quarter of where you're around the planet and stuff. Oh, they got some amazing tech, really have. But I don't think it's that. No, I don't think they're just doing geological surveys for nuclear isotopes and things like that. You know, where they might find stuff. No, I think it's much more than that.
Right,
Much
okay.
more.
And also as well,
Why do they have all lights on them?
yeah, I know.
If it was so
I know.
secretive, because that would be secretive.
I know.
You switch the lights off at night, you won't see these things in the sky. No, they want to be seen, you know.
And also as well, where we were on about in part one about the Black Hawk being brought down. Now, the last I've heard is, and it's only that airport around New York that are actually having Task 2 warning sensors on the planes coming into land saying there's something there, avoid, but when they look, there's nothing there.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I heard some bits and bobs like this before, that what you call these sensory blips, where you thinking there's something there because all the sensors might tell you that, but physically, you're not seeing anything there. You know, sometimes there's been excursions to where they've had to take aircraft from different locations because something is just blipped into existence, though that might not be seen or sometimes is seen. You know, I'm not too sure what caused that incident, to be honest with you, but it is surrounded in mystery, just like as many others, because people are asking questions and not getting the answers they deserve, to be honest with you. You know, is this a Black Hawk helicopter?
I know.
You know, these things got full of sensors. You know, was it just one of those very, very unusual things that you think it's more than likely impossible, but not impossible? It's more than likely impossible. And you say there is a very extreme chance, 0.1%, that it could be this, and that's what happened. It was just such a freak incident because it's never been heard of before, not with Black Hawks anyway. And this thing, they should have seen it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if I'm right in saying that the Black Hawk is the only helicopter where it needs two pilots.
It does, yeah.
It can't be flown really alone. It's, you know.
That's right.
You know, so it's... And they also did a programme as well where they actually got the Black Hawk to fly itself.
Oh, yeah, well, they've had lots of things flying aircraft. They even had mice flying aircraft, military jets, the brain of a rat and a mouse and stuff, you know.
But there has seemed to be a lot of aviation crashes of late, don't there?
There does seem to be, but sometimes, you know, what happens is a stimulant, and what that happens is, I'll give you an example, and this is actually a true story. A friend of mine, years ago, his first car was a Volkswagen Beetle, a white one. Never saw these things anywhere until he bought one. And every time we were out, we were seeing them all over the bloody place. You get it? You understand? It's
if you buy a red car and then they're everywhere,
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes we can be completely unaware of things that might be taking place until we get that stimulus, that illuminator. It goes, oh, that's interesting. And then you start, oh, hang on, there's another one there. So sometimes, like, we just recently had another helicopter crash, haven't we? Where the likelihood is that the Jesus bolt or Jesus nut came off. Is that
the Bell one in New York at Mississippi?
Yeah, it fastens it literally keeps your propellers on, you know. that ball. You know what I call it, juicy ball. Because if that goes, that's the next person you're going to meet. You know, and that is literally is that as simple as that. It's looking like maybe something like that happened.
Well, I was looking actually into it, to be honest, because it is quite fascinating when I saw the actual footage on the news that it was coming upside down.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's strange.
Well,
Why?
there's no
you know,
parallel of
but
it.
apparently I mean, over the Hudson River, there's like a two-step pyramid upside down. There's a corridor A, a corridor B, and a corridor C.
Yeah.
Now, it was in corridor B, which you're only allowed to fly 1,300 feet high.
Yeah.
And the way they actually keep track of the helicopters, you just say, I'm at 900 feet, I'm at 900 feet, and that's the way it does.
Yeah.
So on its way back, apparently when the actual tragedy happened,
There was an alteration, wasn't it?
yeah,
That's right.
when it was coming upside down into the water, there was no actual tail.
Yeah.
But helicopters apparently have something what's called mass booming or mass bumping, something along them lines. And it's where, obviously, they rotate, the actual rotors go up and they go down. But if they go down on rare occasions, it catches the tail.
It
Whips it off. But also, I saw another video and it actually showed you the debris coming out of the water with the helicopter on the actual, if it was that helicopter.
I've not seen that piece of footage.
Well, where the tail actually is, riveted together, that's where it's come off.
Oh, is
but
it?
it's not a rip, it's a straight cut.
A straight cut.
A straight cut, more or less, yeah. It's like the actual rivets have come away and you think, that's some force to do that. And also as well, apparently, because the Bell helicopter was really good on safety. Apparently, it was, used to see years ago, I remember it on, was it Annika Rice?
Yeah.
You know, Stop the Clock, I Found the
Yeah,
Clue.
that's right.
Barrett Holmes.
That's right.
You know, so it has been around a while.
yes,
And apparently, over New York, there's only been, in the last 50 years, 30 fatalities. So it's a good accident report.
Statistics.
But what used to happen, apparently, to helicopters as well is, especially the Bell helicopter, was it had 4 legs on the gearbox.
Right, yeah.
And if one of them had a slight encroaching in the metal in the leg, it used to snap, unbalance the helicopter, and that's what happened. But when they brought the debris out of the Bell helicopter
right?
Hudson, the legs were there, they're fine. But it's come off with a gearbox and all the rotors intact.
Mysteries, to be honest, we don't know really what's happened. But you are right by saying, though, that just seems to have been quite a few, isn't there?
Well, there was another one, wasn't there, near the Hudson River, a small jet, 6 killed.
Right. Yeah. Seems to be around about that location, doesn't it?
Crazy.
Coming up, the final part, with your questions answered.